Up! You're asleep at the wheel! And you're just in time for this week's review of Ultimate X-Men, Volume 1, the Deluxe Hardcover. This bad boy can fit a whole lot of comics in it. In fact, it has 13 issues of those or some X-Men's. That's including issues 1 through 6, the very first story featuring the Ultimate X-Men, the introduction, the Tomorrow People. 7 through 12, the second story, Return to Weapon X, and as a bonus, because you know it and you love it, that's not it, that's it, the original Giant Size X-Men #1. Now, there are a lot of credits because this has a lot of comics, so I'm going to go through all the ones related to Ultimate X-Men. I'm not really going to talk about the Giant Size X-Men #1 today, so we'll leave those out for now. But Ultimate X-Men was written by Mark Millar, with pencils by Adam and Andy Kubert, and it's a year's worth of comics, so some fill-in issues by Tom Rainey and Tom Drennick. Inks by Art Thibert, mainly. He does most of it. But, again, year's worth of comics. Some other people had to step in and help out, including Danny Mickey, Scott Hanna, Joe Kubert, and Larry Stucker. And colors by Richard Isanove, with assist by Transparency Digital, Brian Haberlin, and David Stewart. All good people. Actually, after all the Brian Wood stuff, probably shouldn't say that. All peoples. I know that much. Actually, I'm 95% sure they're all human beings. But they worked on this. They made some X-Men. They made some pretty, do I want to call it good comics? They made some pretty not bad comics. I read a lot of X-Men comics. I can tell you for a fact I have read a lot of comics worse than this. You know what I can give you? Here's the best praise I can give Ultimate X-Men Volume 1. Before I finished it, I went online and I ordered Volume 2. So I didn't hate it. I didn't order Volume 2 just for you. I ordered it for me because I wanted to keep reading this. Now, I will admit, I was not an Ultimate Universe person when this first came out. So I missed the entire Ultimate train. I didn't even try to get on it. The Ultimate train came driving by and I was like, deuces. Not for me. I loved, have always loved my main universe stories. That's what I want. Canon. Canonicity is for me. Now, in recent years, my wife and all of her fanficness and her, I will show you in one of these videos one day, she has a mug that says Canon is for suckers, and it is 40% talking about me, 60% trolls on the internet. But she has helped me to appreciate AU stories, so much so that if you're on this website, you've probably seen somewhere there-ish Lost Shadows. I write my own AU fic now. The MCU helped with this a lot, really. Seeing multiple takes, different takes that I could still love and embrace of the same characters. Sometimes I loved them more. That was crazy. Blew my mind. So, recently, had me go back and say, alright, you know what? I am finally going to give this Ultimate thing a try. And I did. And it's not bad. Now, this is the book I chose to get. The MSRP on it is $29.99, which for 2 trades, not bad. Even if you had to pay full price, because trades usually $15 to $20 each full price, and you know, this one comes in a really nice hardcover that sits really pretty on your shelf. So, you know, for the same price, instead of getting 2 flimsy paperbacks, you get 1 beautiful hardcover. Not bad. I would do that. Except I didn't pay $29.99. I got this bad boy for $10.00 on sale, as most trades of Ultimate Universe comics tend to be. I will also tell you that when I went online and bought Volume 2, I got it for even less than $10, and that was with tax and shipping. So you can find this beautiful version for a really affordable price. Like, that is a lot of comics for a little bit of dollars. I would have had to pay more at 99 cents an issue for the digitals if I wanted to buy them on Comixology than I did for the actual pretty shelf hardcover deluxe trade version. So, all things considered, pretty good. Now, when it comes to AUs and varying tales, I will tell you there's some things I like. If you've read Lost Shadows, you know I like my Jeans confident and strong. I like my Scotts a little bit on the spectrum. Now, that's not to say I don't love me some regular Scott. I don't super duper love me some Gillen, Bendis, conflicted. I've been through some shit, and now I'm like a little bit Tom Brady, unshaven, kind of sexy, conflicted leader bro Scott. That's my Scott. But younger, spectrumy, little ADD, all of that, not ADD, a little OCD, all of that causing him to have that focus, analytical leadership drive. That is the real person behind the visor that I dig. And Ultimate's got that, Scott. It does. Some of the characters work well. Some of them are just like you're used to. Wolverine, the Professor. The Professor's pretty kind of dicky, half shady, as you know, he's been for the last 25 years in, you know, main books. So that's the same. Storm, weird, like Storm is kind of like Jubilee, but she's Storm, which doesn't work for me. There's some interesting romantic pairings. You know, we get Wolverine with Jean, who, because they're all teenagers, they say over and over and over and over and over again that she is 19 years old. Like, they are explicitly trying to cover their asses and saying, hey, we know that some 70s and 80s comics didn't age super well with the whole, like, teen romance thing. We're not gonna do that. And props to them, because this is like 2002, 2003, 2004. This is not 2019. This is not a hyper-aware society response book. This is before that. And Millar still had that sense, so props to him on that. In terms of the art, the story, you know, the Kuberts know how to draw them some X-Men. They've been drawing them for a while. It's got a little bit of that kind of like Jim Lee 90s musculature with a little bit of that kind of glossy 2000s-ness. You know, there's a lot of geometry in the background, like late 80s, 90s comics had. You can tell these guys have been doing it for a while, but they've grown with the medium. You know, they're moving through the ages. This is art of its time because these guys move forward. Their art styles progressed with the times, and it's not bad. Pretty decent tape. Some of the covers, very nice. I don't really dig short hair Jean, but that's just me. I think it's supposed to give her confidence, but to me it gives her that like fake confidence shielding insecurity, which makes me think of insecure Jean, which makes me think of unstable Jean, which is not the Jean I want. Like, I want me some Tom Taylor, X-Men Red, super confident, like Mama Jean. But for Teen Jean, I can go with it. She does some things. She even drops a body. All things considered, pretty good start for an AU story. Hits on some things. Made me interested enough to want to read more. Maybe it'll make you interested enough to want to read more. So I would not strongly recommend, but I would moderately, like a dude who's been working out for 2 to 3 weeks and is starting to feel a difference, like that level of strength, recommend Ultimate X-Men, the Deluxe Hardcover, Volume 1. That's it for this week. I'll see you back here next week with another review. Until then, wake up! You're asleep at the wheel.